Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Zach, but you guys can call me Hazardous. I'm joined here with iRue399
Hey now, what's going on?
and Red Dead 2 videos.
Hello, what's up, everyone?
And in this video, we're joining back in for another collab on Red Dead Redemption. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the pre-orders and the special editions of Red Dead Redemption, since that was the biggest news this week. Amongst some other things as well we'll get into later in the video. But I guess to start it off, thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe to any of our channels if you guys are new. I'll have these guys linked down in the description of my videos, and I'm sure they'll do the same. But I guess we'll just jump into the special edition of Red Dead Redemption. And one of the first pre-order bonuses you get is that Warhorse. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, it's amazing.
Really
I love that
cool.
horse, man. I think it's interesting though because, like, I always think with Rockstar news like this, it's the stuff that we don't see that's important. So, like the horse, it's like, okay, well, nice, massive, great horse, and there's another horse you get, isn't there? The black speckled, whatever the hell it is. It's a racehorse. Like that to me is like, oh, there are horse breeds in the game. So, like, how many are there going to be? 10, 12? Like, it to me, it's like, yeah, the warhorse is cool and all. But, like, does that mean there's going to be a lot of different horses that we can ride? And I think that's the most interesting thing, because, like, the warhorse is big and heavy, and like probably fairly slow, but it'll take you a long way and probably like carry a lot more. Whereas the other ones, like, I think it tells you a lot more about what we've not been told about, as opposed to like just what you see. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Great description of the warhorse. It's from what you can see on the image, it's a big, bulky horse. So, yeah, obviously it's going to be a much slower horse, but obviously it's designed for different things. But what's really interesting is as well, obviously we will be able to use them to carry along some, I guess you could say, like maybe some coaches or carriages, maybe. Or whatever it might be. We could even use them to take back some like dead animals to our campsite as well from the hunted.
Definitely. I wonder how much we'll be able to customize him too, in terms of if we can change the his fur or his coat, because it says here that he's just an iron gray colored horse. I don't know if it's only that color or if it's going to change it all, but yeah, like attaching him to stagecoaches would be cool, and just little things like that just to make him more accessible, and you can just do more different things with him.
Absolutely.
I expect the warhorse will be just the warhorse. Like, it's a special edition thing. You probably won't get too much for it. Like, it'll just be the thing. I think you can change the saddles and all the rest of it, though. That seems like a thing that could happen. I'd like it to be where, you know, in GTA 5, when you go and you change a car, you can put pretty much anything on any car. Like, I wouldn't mind it being a case of, like, you go to plop a saddle on your horse, and it's like, nah, sorry, this one doesn't work on this horse. Like, it's designed for a racehorse, not a nice, big, meaty war horse. Like, I kind of like
True,
the idea
yeah.
that you could only have certain things for it. And, you know, you can sort of design, like, okay, you'll have your saddle, but you get to pick out of these two or three, you know, because that sort of thing, just small stuff that adds to the kind of, like, you know, you are in a game still, and like you can't just do the silliness.
This guy is definitely going to have a big saddle too, so you could definitely probably, you could carry more weapons or something like that on the back, as opposed to if you had a more lightweight saddle for a smaller horse, you'd have like a limited weapon selection. But if you're using this guy, you could probably put a shotgun, a rifle, and an extra pistol or two on there or something like that.
I'm also hoping there's like characteristics for horses, so like the warhorse maybe is not quite so frightened. Like if gunfire goes off and all the rest of it, maybe he doesn't bolt quite as easily. Whereas like some of the other horse breeds, maybe they get a little bit like skittish and like not quite so easy to ride if like there's lots going on. So like certain horses excel in certain spots.
Yeah, true. I'm also interested, like, as well, like, if you're under fire from, like, enemies as well, that the warhorse will be able to take, that extra bit of damage from the guns. Because he's a big old horse.
Yeah, he can definitely take a lot of bullets, or at least you'd hope he can. I mean, for a horse that size, and if he's going to be slower than most of the other horses, and this is all speculation right now, but if he is going to turn out to be slower, then he should have some counter to the speed, and that should be extra health or something like that.
Exactly.
Or yeah, just not try and buck you off in a gunfight because this guy's massive and loud noises doesn't scare him. One of my Twitter followers actually asked a question, and I kind of touched on it in my Q&A yesterday, but he was wondering about the Warhorse. Since it is a special edition horse, there's rumors that if you lose your horse in this game, or if it dies or gets shot or you leave it behind, you lose that bond with the horse. So I wonder how that's going to work with this special edition horse. Like, is it specifically, say if this one gets blown up by dynamite, since it's your special edition horse, it's not going to be gone forever, but do you lose all the progress you made with the original one? Or can you just call it again and it's going to be like the same, comfort level as it was before type of thing?
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm hoping that, particularly with the special edition horse, like, I don't like the idea of him dying and then that's like, see ya, you don't get him again. I'd like it though to be that if the horse was to die and you got another one that was the same breed, it's a different horse. So you'd have to sort of retrain it, get better with it, grow it and all the rest of it and become familiar with it. But I don't want it to be ridiculous. Like, if he dies, you just never get like that again. It would. I think you'd probably have access to the Warhorse all the time, but it'd still be a different horse, basically. Because otherwise, you're paying for something, it dies, you don't get it again. Which seems a bit naughty. That.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's stuck behind a paywall, man.
Yeah, we'll touch into that in this video as well. It's kind of that backlash Rockstar's receiving for some of these special editions, like the gang hideout and the bank robbery mission. But we'll get into that later in this video. The other thing that was one of the pre-order bonuses was that Outlaw Survival Kit, which is all the key supplies, so items to replenish health and Deadeye. And Rue, you actually talked about that in one of your videos, talking about the core stats and skills in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
that was a cool video.
I enjoyed doing that. I didn't see too many people pick up on it. Like that, you've got what is in the base, and I think that like the camping equipment, all you're going to be getting in the special edition is like just something that you wouldn't get in the game anyway. But there's probably going to be, like horses, probably a dozen or so different things you can do with your camp. As the game goes on, you can probably build a bigger one and a nicer one. It's just that the one that you get in the special edition is somehow a little bit different. Like, I don't think it's one of those things that they wouldn't have put in if you didn't buy the special edition. It's just some stuff on top, so it's some extra little boost. And as it's single player, it doesn't matter. I don't think. Like, I'm fine with it all, like the boosts and all the rest of it. Deadeye seems cool. I want Deadeye to be like a little bit more natural this time. Like, I wouldn't mind the time slowdown, but I don't need the screen to go yellow.
Yeah. I mean that
was a feature in GTA 5 too, right? I never really used one of those specials that much. Wasn't
it Michael's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Michael's feature. I can't remember what they called it, but it was effectively bullet time, wasn't it?
Like, it was something similar. I forget if it was, you could lock onto people like Deadeye or bullet time and Max Payne, or if it was just it slowed down time and allowed you to.
I think everything went blue and it slowed down slightly. I don't think you did the lock on like Deadeye kind of put the X's across, but it definitely slowed stuff down by a bit.
Gotcha.
Not quite as slow as Red Dead, but slow.
So next up we have one of the special edition things. So I guess we'll jump into this right away since it's first listed on Rockstar's Newswire as well, which is the so very controversial bank robbery mission and gang hideout.
Oh god.
A lot of fans are pushing back on this because they think Rockstar, is being greedy with their pre-order and special edition bonuses, and a lot of fans are getting this mixed up, thinking that these missions and gang hideouts are part of the story, fall in with Arthur Morgan's storyline. They think they're not going to be able to get the full experience on it, and that's just not true. These are just additional bonuses, and it's what makes the special edition a special edition in and of itself. Besides, there are a few other bonuses thrown in here, like a different horse and an outfit, but if you're going to buy a special edition, you want to make sure, if you're going to spend that $20 to $40 extra, you want to get something out of it. And I think having this extra mission and gang hideout that standard edition players won't have access to is what makes it worth it.
They are add-ons.
Or at least comes into play.
They're just add-ons.
They're just add-ons.
Like, I think, was it... that's it. It was Just Cause 3. That's it. It was one of the Just Cause games where you could buy it on day of release, and there were 2 or 3 DLC packs which had already been made and were already available that you could buy. So you could buy the base game and then buy £30 worth of DLC, and it would open up weapons, missions, part of the map, etc. And that was like an extra £30. But it was already in the game when they made it. They just decided to not give you it and charge you a little bit more. That's not what Rockstar are doing here. They are adding more to the game and then charging you for it. Could they have put it in the game before paying? Yeah, probably. But like, there's probably going to be like 50 gang hideouts anyway. One more isn't really like that big of a crime. I want to know who the first person to come out online and like get the pitchforks out was. Because I guarantee it was someone writing an article or someone doing a video, and then it just spread like wildfire. Like, it confused me, because Rockstar do such good stuff that just this one gang hideout mission just seemed weird. Like, I actually saw one person saying that this gang hideout was going to be in Mexico, but there was only one gang hideout in Mexico, so you couldn't go to Mexico if you didn't buy the special edition. And then I heard people saying that as if it was true. Like, we don't even know that Mexico is going to be in the game fully. Like, it's not like confirmed.
Yeah, well, I mean, Rockstar hasn't said anything yet, so you can only assume.
Yeah.
Just like you can only assume really like of rumors and what people are talking about. But everything so far that Rockstar mentioned, you know, with the bank robbery mission, like, I think people are just getting hanged up too much about it. I mean, I just wouldn't be worried about it because Rockstar aren't the company that would, you know, rip you off in that way. They always add quality, and there is plenty to offer, you know, within their games as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have a company that's been working, or not even just a company, we have the consolidation of all of Rockstar studios, every single one of their like 15 or 20 studios they have worldwide working on this game for the past 8 years. And you know, it would be nice to get an extra mission in the gang hideout without having to buy the special edition, but in the grand scheme of things, this is something that is really only going to be relevant for the first week. I mean, we have those, you know, little bonuses in other games, and I buy those special editions for that stuff, and then, you know, I use it in the first week, and it's great, and then it just becomes old. And so I think that people are getting hung up on this, or kind of missing the point that this game is going to be so incredible and so in-depth that it's not even going to matter that this one mission is a special edition only. And I'm sure this is going to be one of those things, too, where a month or two down the line, it's going to be offered for like $5 on the store or something.
Yeah. Probably. Like, if you think, like, here's an example of when I'd come out and be like, this is a bit wrong. Let's say there are 7 or 8 gangs who hold 5 or 6 different hideouts each in the game. And Rockstar come out, and the special edition is unlock the Bollard gang hideouts for an extra tenner. And then when you're in the game and you just bought the base game, you rock up to a gang hideout, and 7 or 8 of them turn you away saying, you didn't give us extra money, you're not allowed to do this. That would be bad. If there were a lot of them, there was a big portion of the game taken away from you because you didn't buy the special edition. This is just one extra one. It's not like they've taken a whole patch of the game out and now are trying to sell it for more. It's just that they've just put another one in and gone, hey, if you fancy it, there you go. Like, it's all digital stuff. Like, it's all, you know, I'm not annoyed at it. And I could rant about it for hours, so please stop me.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a feature that some players will be missing out on, but it's definitely not a huge part of the game. It's just a bonus. And that is what makes the special edition the special edition. But as a segue into the other content that's offered here, you know, this is all stuff that is exclusive to the special edition, like this dappled black thoroughbred, Nuevo Priso gunslinger outfit. And then one of the ones listed at the end here, I actually forgot about these. They get the 3 weapons free at the gunsmiths, which are, I forget which weapons they are. They're pump action shotgun, volcanic pistol, and then we have like a little varmint rifle here. Pump action shotgun, I mean, that's pretty major. I'm surprised people aren't up in arms about that.
Oh yeah, it sounds like
free,
a modern gun.
I think it's free, isn't it, though? Like, so free access too. You can probably buy these
True.
from the get-go, but you'll probably get like a certain amount. And again, it's single player, isn't it? Like if they said that was for multiplayer, then it might be a little bit different because it gives you an edge. But because it's single player, like they could just say, "Here you go, start with absolutely everything." Like it's not going to matter too much. Like, but the pump action sounds cool. But I wonder, like, again, Rockstar being Rockstar. Like in my head, the volcanic pistol and the shotgun and all the rest of it, probably not the best weapons in the game. That to me says more about the stuff that we've not heard of. Like, there's probably a lot better weapons that you'll get. It's just if you pay an extra tenner, you get a few of them, a little earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we will get a lot of variety other than them.
I was looking at this too.
Yeah.
So the varmint rifle, it's a low-powered hunting rifle essentially. It's hunting like small game, like rodents and stuff in the game. If there's rabbits or the skunks and those things or minks that we saw, that's interesting because I kind of just thought of this now is we're gonna need to use that rifle to hunt those smaller animals, and I'm gonna assume it's so we can extract their skin and pelt and sell it, and it's not damaged. So I'm sure the hunting system is gonna be pretty in depth. Like if you take down a bear and you unload like 50 semi-auto shotgun shells into it, you're not gonna be able to sell it for that much because it's got bullet holes everywhere.
Yeah, meat goes.
So I think it's
bad
gonna promote like get a clean kill type of deal. Shoot the deer in that spot of the neck that guarantees a kill. Like if you shoot it in the head, you're gonna ruin the skull. So you can't really like have that. Things like that. That's gonna bring down the price.
They've got the opportunity here to make a really, really good open world Rockstar game, but also a really, really good RPG game. Like this idea that you like hunting, you could probably spend hours out just in the wilderness, just going along, trying to get that nice bow to the the elk neck, because there is a spot on the neck, isn't there? If you hit it, it's like a clean insta death.
Yeah.
Putting them on the back of your horse, going back to town. Like they've got the opportunity to make that a big part of the game, just hunting. Because one thing I found with Red Dead Redemption was once you finished everything, there wasn't much to do. Like you'd have the same the kind of the random events. You'd have like the same 5 or 6 of those would happen, but there wouldn't be much else other than hunting. And hunting was just a case of go out, find it, and go, oh look, and then shoot it. Whereas I'm hoping in Red Dead Redemption 2 it's more like you say, you got to use a particular gun, you have to wear certain clothes, maybe you can douse yourself in like a scent or something that attracts them, that sort of stuff. Because there's talismans and stuff, isn't there, that sort of you improve skills based on what you're wearing. That's got the opportunity to add a lot to the game.
I think that was mentioned in an IGN interview that you can use a dead animal to lure newer animals to the scent of the smell. So you could just like sit in the bush or just wait by a tree for that animal to come along to the decaying animal that's already dead, and then you can take your shot. I think that's really interesting.
That's like
the fact that you can bait animals like that, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I was so fascinated.
Real life levels. That's real life levels of gaming. Like you could just chuck like a rabbit out and just wait, and like you're out in a bush and you got to wait a little while, but eventually one shows up. Like how cool is that? Maybe you got to wait 5 minutes for something to come along and see this thing, but it's coming and it shows up. You're like, oh, there you go. You get your shot, and then you realise it's too big to carry back. Like I'm waiting to be out in the mountains and your horse dies. Like imagine that. You're up out in the middle of nowhere and your horse dies. You're like, shit, how am I getting home now?
Whistle.
Like,
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh man. And then you got
There's definitely a lot of cool features.
You got the multiplayer stuff as well, haven't you? You've got like a few different things, like the free access to the survivor camp, which is of course like sort of an extension of the solo one, isn't it, that we had earlier? But again, that's no edge. Like what I look for in a multiplayer thing is an edge. And the only one that looks a little bit dubious is like you just go straight to rank 25.
Yeah. Well,
and carry on, sorry, D.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, what would the system in Red Dead Redemption Online, the ranking system, like, it must be like, I mean, it must be really easy to probably rank up in that case.
It was in Red Dead Redemption, I think. Like, you'd get to rank 25 fairly quickly. Like, it wasn't instant, but like, again, I don't feel like rank 25 in Red Dead Redemption 2's online is going to be that big of a deal. Like, a few different clothes, maybe, a few different guns, but nothing extreme.
Yeah, I don't think it will have an impact really as much.
I'm expecting, I mean, when I first played GTA Online when it first came out, it took me, I mean, I was easily level 25 by that weekend, because it came out, October 1st or whatever. I think I just grinded the Violent Duct mission like 15 times over when I was 25.
The one which it gave you 80 grand?
That was Rooftop Rumble, which you needed to be like level 80, and unfortunately I wasn't high enough, and then when I was, it got patched.
No. This I don't think it was Rooftop. Right, there was one where you'd show up. It was a Gerald mission.
Was it the strip club one? Like right outside?
Yeah, at the back underneath a bridge, and like
that was Violent Duct.
Yeah, you didn't have to show up. You just show up, grab the package, and make a fucking run for it. And it would literally take a minute and a half, and it would be something like 80k. And then they like nerfed the shit out of it. It started like paying like $5,000 by the end of the week.
It was like 10 grand, but yeah, you could complete it in less than 2 minutes, and that was when they still had the replay option for missions.
Just go again, and like every 2 minutes you were making. At first, it was, I'm pretty sure the figure was like 60,000, because I remember Hover and a few others got on. It's like, quick, let's get on and do this thing. We made like 800k, and then that was it. Like, but then they really, like, Rockstar went to town in like making sure that stuff couldn't happen. Even now, like, they made it so it couldn't happen. But I remember, like, the ranks in GTA Online didn't really mean anything to start with.
Yeah, no.
It meant the only weapons that really mattered in terms of rank was like that minigun and RPG, and that was at level 100 and 120. But everything else you unlocked before level 30, pretty much. I mean, you got like the grenade launcher at 70 something, but realistically, not a lot of players were using that, and we're probably going to have less weapons in this game, or at least, we don't have fully automatic rifles or anything like that besides a Gatling gun.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm sure we'll be able to put on a stagecoach. But
GTA Online is cool, man. Like, I know people complain about it, but I remember being sat in GTA 4 just in free roam for many hundreds of hours thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if we could just own Masonette and run it? And now you're doing stuff like that in GTA. You're gun running businesses, coke empires, and all that. Like, GTA 4's online was so simple and fun, but it didn't have depth. It was simply like just run around in free roam or do like team deathmatch and stuff.
True.
Yeah, it's truly like you take a role like owning the coke empire or weed farm and things like that, or the import export exotic card businesses and things like that. It's definitely cool. I'm buying into it a lot recently.
Well, I hope there is markets in Red Dead Online that we can sell.
Yeah, that's it. I was going to say,
I'm sure we're going to have businesses.
With any luck, you'd get that in online too. And because it won't be Rockstar's first time doing it, maybe they'll start with this sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
think so.
You get in online and there's already a lot of stuff that you can do.
Yeah, like I'm sure we're going to see, maybe like gold mining or something. You can hire a bunch of people to mine gold in a cave, and like other people can go in and like loot the cave or something if you don't pack up all the materials properly or something like that, or complete a mission. And gonna be little things like that. One of my followers on Twitter brought up farming and just like growing different types of plants to sell to local markets and stuff. And I don't know how in depth any of this stuff is going to be, or if it's even going to be in the game, but I'm sure Rockstar is going to take a similar approach in online and have more business DLCs. But we won't, kind of in how we started seeing that in 2016 with GTA 5. We're going to see that in year one for Red Dead Redemption 2 easily.
What was I going to say? I'm thinking like with the heists in single player now, there isn't like, it's not linear. So it's kind of, you just sort of plan it on your own, and you just go and you do it. You don't have to necessarily have all these crazy loading screens planning and all this. You could just go and do it. I'm really hoping in Red Dead Redemption's online, like me and you two could like just decide, we're just going to go and hold up this pharmacy. Just cause, and then we just go and do it. Like I'd like the idea of a heist in Red Dead Online being the equivalent of a gang hideout. You just go and do it, as opposed to like there be like, okay, now we're adding heists to the game and you can do this heist or that heist. I like the idea of it just being free flowing and you just go and do it because you want to and can. So that would be awesome.
I think that's where the RPG elements would kick in as well. Just, free flow.
Yeah, free flowing, no like loading screens, no telling you what to do, you just go and do it.
Yeah. And if you make a mistake, you can always go back and try again and correct your errors. Be more of a challenge.
That's the lovely part about a game.
Exactly, yeah. What do you guys think of the collector's edition as well?
Oh,
I like the bonuses. I think I can go into more detail on kind of like what I was expecting and things like that. I would have liked a really cool feature in it, like, a lot of people wanted a mini replica revolver or something like that. And I think that would have been cool. I think what's there, though, is pretty good for a collector's box, even though $100 is a little bit steep for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think for what we're getting, the $50 price would have been appropriate considering it's sold separately. Because what this means now, since Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game, and then the collector's edition is being sold separately, Rockstar is getting an extra $50 out of players with this, because the GTA 5 collector's edition, you received like the ultimate edition of GTA 5, along with all the little collector's edition features for $150. And now, since you're buying it separately, if you want the ultimate edition and the collector's edition, it'll be $200. So it's a way that they're able to say, hey, you can buy whichever copy of Red Dead you want, and if you're a real fan of our franchise and our games and stuff like that, you can buy your little collector's box, or just one or the other. But if you want to buy both, and for that dedicated market of, like that 1 or 2% of players who just buy everything for a game because they love it, they're able to kind of string them along and get extra money for them. So that is where I see most of Rockstar's greed coming in, is with this collector's box, not necessarily the special edition.
Yeah.
I see. Well, you'd be one of those weird people that buys the collector's edition of every game that was ever launched. I know I got you. Do you know anyone like that who just buys all of the collector's editions, no matter what they are?
Not personally, no.
There's a couple of people I know, and it's bizarre, man, how they like literally walk in their room and they've got thousands of pounds worth of stuff, and you're like, oh, what's this? And they go, it's a little statue for Modern Warfare 2, and I'm like, oh, I see. And then like you look around, you realise that all they have are little plastic statues that they paid 60 quid for, and but they play
junk.
They play the game for a week, finish it, move on. But
I was never big on.
Yeah, I'm never big on them. They always just seem like little tack-on things. Like the best thing for me is the game. Like I kind of like, in a way, that all of the real special edition thing for for Red Dead is like just digital stuff. It's digital bonuses.
Yeah,
it's good enough for me.
Well, everyone seems to be forgetting that the collector's edition does not include the game. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to miss out on that, and they pre-order the collector's edition and they're expecting the full game with it. No.
How sad would you be if you opened it up and you realised it wasn't there?
Yeah.
And it was
a lot of people are like, kids are gonna buy this and they're gonna get it, and their parents are gonna waste money, etc. And that's why I made the video that I did of the buyer beware, is because a lot of people were excited for the collector's box, and it definitely should be known that it it doesn't come with the actual game, not even a download code or anything.
Rockstar did clarify though. They put it up on Twitter, and if you look, I mean, it is fairly evident. It is the collector's box. It's not the collector's edition. It's just the collector's box. So it's a box that they're selling. It's a bit annoying that they released it all in one go, because it makes you think that there's the special, ultimate, and collector's edition. But the collector's thing is a separate thing. It's not. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just like the equivalent of buying a T-shirt for a game. Like,
exactly.
At this point, and at that point, I don't even know if it's really worth it. You'd have to be a real, like, someone who's really into it to want to buy it. How are we doing on time? I haven't looked.
I think we're on a half hour.
We're on a half hour. We've just ticked over the half an hour now. That's intense, man.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are still sticking with us in the video. If you are, definitely drop a like. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Sticking with us so long. But some of the features in this collector's box are cool. Like, I think the Wheeler Rawson and Company catalog, the 150-page booklet, that's the replica of the in-game version. That's something I think is worth it in there. If you're into those little cigarette cards that show, the different heroes and outlaws and things like that, and then the puzzle as well.
It's just
I'd like to
neat
put
little
together a
things,
puzzle.
man. Like I've always been I'll admit I've been a bit of a fan of like, this is the thing that was in the game. Like I've been going through and watching Star Trek for the last like little while, and last year I watched all of the Next Generation, which is like a couple 100 hours long or something like that, and it was cool. And now I'm watching Deep Space Nine, which is like serialized and like 7 seasons, going through it and all the rest of it. I'm like, man, the Federation, oh, it's awesome, massive galaxy. Well, I found out that there's like online, there's an interactive map of the galaxy, and it shows you where all of the different people are and everything that's going on. And like I was soaking that up because it's like an extra little bit. It's something more. So the idea of like you play your game and all the rest of it, and then you're looking at, oh, there's a magazine there, like in the shops and all the rest of it, and they're like, oh, I'm actually holding one. I can flick through and see what would be there. Like, you could really get yourself into it just by looking at it. Some of that stuff is cool. £100 cool, maybe not for me, but I see why people would want it. Because it is like the box itself is supposed to be the box that the Van der Linde gang put their money in and stuff. Like when they make money, they put it in there. I could see that being really cool.
Yeah, it is a cool feature. I mean, everything that is included is, really it's all collectibles just for anyone who's into collecting all of that stuff. I mean, it's not your gig. If you don't want it, you don't have to get it. No force.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
that's the
paywall,
biggest
man.
thing is, they're not forcing you to buy it.
That's the takeaway.
That's
you don't
true.
have to buy it if you don't want it.
The key takeaway with any of these editions, it's everything's optional, which is I think that's good. Options are always good. I like to have options.
I'm going to have to be a party pooper. I'm going to have to get going soon.
No worries. Well, why don't we end it here? We'll be back next week for another episode. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's episode number 2 of this Red Dead Redemption 2 discussion with iRue399 and Red Dead 2 videos. Thanks for coming on today, guys.
That's
If
okay.
you guys
I
have
knew
any
it was
parting
going to
words.
happen. I knew it's last week it was 20 minutes. This week it's half an hour. Give it a month and we're going to be here for 4 hours.
The podcast.
Talking about...
Just wait till the game's out, everyone. We're going to have some cool live streams together and all that
I
stuff.
just like jumping on and talking to someone that can firstly put up with me talking about it so much, because I know I can be a bit dominant in conversations. I've said this before. I can get a little bit over the top, but like, so people that just like it just as much as I do, because I can just talk for hours about
a
this
natural
stuff, man.
speaker.
Yeah, some people see it as like fluff. Like some people hear the word speculation and they're just like, no thanks. But others are like, no, it's cool. Like, we're just talking about stuff that could happen, and
That's the best thing is that we all have an audience right now where we're all excited for the game, and everyone who's watching us is just as excited. And I think that's the coolest thing is that everyone's so pumped for this game.
It is. If we're on Hazard's channel at the moment, feel free to come on over to me, and of course Red Dead 2 videos. We do stuff basically every day as well. I know I like try to do stuff. But if you happen to be on my channel, like I said, make sure you check out the other two, because if you like Red Dead and you like videos about it, there's no reason why you shouldn't be subbed to 3 channels. So do it.
3 times the content.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm seriously looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a great game, and I love Red Dead Redemption as much as you guys. It's so fun just getting on here and talking about a game we love, really. After 8 years of waiting for Red Dead 2. Yeah, finally it's coming. Yeah.
Very soon. But yeah, that'll bring us to an end of today's video. Like I said, drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe if you are new, and go down in the description, check out iRue399, Red Dead 2 videos. They'll be just under the description of this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.
See you later.
Peace.